it's Naturally Be Nikki and welcome back to my channel. Now, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe, and if you really want to get into it, be sure to visit my website, naturallybnicki.com. I do appreciate you. Now, y'all know why I'm here, okay? We are getting into BET's The Bobby Brown Story. Now, it's important to know, okay, I will not be doing a recap of the biopic, okay? I'm not going to be giving y'all play-by-play and diving into every scene. I'm not going to do that because it's boring, all right? But what I will give y'all is my thoughts on the project, if I thought it was good or not, my key takeaways, and my few critiques of the project. Let's get into it. Bobby Brown gave us everything, okay? He got right to it. My mans didn't waste no time, okay? We kick off the first scene with Bobby laid out on a stretcher looking like he is this close to passing, talking about, "I'm gonna die." All right, that was his first line to open the biopic. And he talks about how he was happy that this time it was him and not anybody else. Y'all, this won't no new edition story, all right? This won't gonna be a whole bunch of laughs and giggles and kikiing and all that. This biopic was going to be dark, okay? And they let us know. All right, so it was time. The biggest thing that I took away from the Bobby Brown story, of course, other than whatever you do not do drugs, okay? Outside of that, this man has literally been through so much. I mean, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and he's still standing. Like, this man is literally a walking testimony. The fact that Bobby Brown to this day is still living, breathing, functioning, you know, it's crazy to me. It blows my mind. We're talking about death. We're talking about loss, okay? Bobby Brown lost so many people close to him, including his grandmother, who he said was his biggest fan, close friends, his ex-wife, his daughter. I mean, the list goes on. He lost so many people. He suffered a stroke, hence why his jaw is a little off even to this day. Let's not forget that he went to prison multiple times throughout his lifetime. I mean, oh my God. Bobby has a boatload of kids. Bobby and Whitney were genuinely and madly in love with each other, but them being together was so toxic. Now, I knew it was bad, but seeing it visually in front of me, I realized and I learned how tragic and just toxic it really, really was. I'm not saying that Bobby Brown is perfect or that he's a saint, but he's not half as bad as the media has portrayed him out to be all these years. In actuality, Whitney was the real one out the two of them, okay? Whitney was off the chain. Now, I always knew Whitney was a trip. You know, she's from Newark, New Jersey. That's not a secret, you know. But I didn't really realize she was as real as she actually was portrayed in the story. And y'all, to be quite honest, I don't think that Bobby's portrayal of her was actually that far off from the truth. I mean, we've seen footage of them for years. We've seen the footage. We've seen these moments. We've seen the interviews. We've seen and we've heard the many sides of Whitney. So honestly, y'all, I really don't think that Bobby Brown's portrayal of her throughout this biopic was that far off. I do believe that a lot of the behaviors that she showed behind closed doors was accurate. It was truthful. Rest in peace, Whitney. You know, bless her soul. But we cannot ignore what it was. And I feel like what we saw was what it was. Now, another aspect of both Whitney and Bobby's dynamic that I learned was the fact that the both of them had their own problems prior to getting in a relationship with each other, okay? They both had their own vices. Them getting married is what really amplified both their individual problems that were already there. For example, Whitney doing coke. You know, her brother admits to this day that he was the one that introduced her to coke, not Bobby. And I really have to take a moment to address Whitney's family. The way that the Houston family did Bobby Brown and his older children at Whitney's funeral, unbelievable. Terrible. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, okay? They did this man they did Bobby so grimy. Bobby Brown and Janet Jackson got it popping. Lord have mercy, okay? Talk about a hot mess express. And not only did they get it popping, but Bobby was also madly in love with this woman. Like, he loved him some Janet. Had Janet Jackson and Bobby Brown actually worked out as a couple, we probably wouldn't have gotten Bobby and Whitney. Okay, Whitney and Bobby. Now, I know Janet Jackson fans are pretty salty after tuning into the Bobby Brown story. But Whitney Houston's fans? Oh, honey, they are livid. I also learned that Whitney got her swerve on and could possibly have been bisexual. Oh my. It was just literally too much tea packed into this two-part series. Sis! Robin was mad the whole biopic, y'all. Pissed, okay? She couldn't stand Bobby. Just looking like this the whole time. They was living their best lives when Bobby won't there, okay? Another interesting thing I learned was how long Alicia, Bobby Brown's now current wife, was around. Alicia was there on Bobby and Whitney's wedding day, y'all, okay? According to Bobby, she was the one that got him out the bathroom and able to get married that day. It was Alicia. Okay, y'all, now talk about some tea. Woody McClain and Gabrielle Dennis did they thing. Okay, when I say they nailed it, they nailed it. And for all y'all haters out there that's throwing shade at Gabrielle Dennis because she didn't look like Whitney Houston, shut up. Shut up, okay? We get it. She don't look like Whitney, but she sure did act like Whitney, okay? She had the mannerisms down pat. So what you're gonna do is put some respect on her name. Woody and Gabrielle Dennis as a unit did they daggone thing, y'all. They was acting. And I was here for every bit of it. Ooh, child. Okay. There was some scenes that was tough to watch. That jail scene or the stroke scene when Bobby fell out and Whitney is moonwalking all around his body, just pop locking. And the fact that they recreated the B and Bobby Brown scene when they was in the mall. Now let's get into these critiques, okay, y'all? It was a lot of commercials for your girl, okay? It was way too many commercials, BET. I'm gonna need y'all to cut back a little bit. Now, I know y'all got bills to pay, but still, it was very long, BET. It was very long, okay? We talking about 2.5 hours. It started at 9 p.m. and ended at 11:30, y'all. People got work in the morning. I'm dozing off during the story, not because I didn't want to see it, but because truth is, I was tired. I was tired, BT. If it was going to be 2.5 hours long, then I needed that project to start at 8 p.m. sharp. I feel like we rushed through Bobby's childhood and during the peak of his career. I feel like we rushed that a bit. I feel like there was so much more we could have learned during those times. I would have loved to also see them explore the ins and outs of the peak of his career, okay? And just really, getting into the immense impact that Bobby had on the culture in the 90s. Okay, come on. I'm talking the Gumby haircuts that all the brothers, including my daddy, was rocking during that time. I'm talking about all the hits that he had with Teddy Riley. I'm talking about the Every Little Step music video. I would have loved to learn more about these pieces of Bobby, but we didn't really get that. I also wish that there was more back and forth between both Bobby and Janet during their scene together. I feel like Bobby was just saying everything for Janet rather than Janet actually, speaking from her perspective. Also, BET, y'all gotta know y'all was dead wrong for showing that Janet Jackson honoree Black Girl Rock commercial right after the Bobby and Janet scene. Now, y'all know y'all dead wrong, okay? I'm not here for y'all shade. I'm not dealing with y'all. It was a solid project. I definitely will say I enjoyed part 2 more than I did part 1, but the entire body of work was very interesting and powerful to watch. So BET, another great job. Woody McClain, Gabrielle Dennis, great job. Everybody involved with this project, great job. That's all I got on the Bobby Brown story. I'm curious to know your thoughts, okay, on this piece. Please let me know in the comments below your thoughts, and I'm gonna see y'all next video.